Hi Libra, this is Angel Aura Divination, and I'm here to give the sign of Libra their end of June 2021 Tarot and Oracle message. I have already started the reading. I'm utilizing the Energy Oracle, the Sacred Destiny Oracle, and also the Universal Tarot to give you this message. I already started the reading, so I actually have like a full column of cards out for the first part of your reading, but my video got cut off, so I am going to be restarting it and giving you kind of a better, faster paced overview of what I was seeing and kind of explaining these energies a little bit better, actually, I think, because it got presented to me and I did feel like I needed to tell you. So we have the Garden and the Gate. This is a 30 reducing down to the energetic vibration of 3, being about wholeness and divinity, right? And we have and then we have Flow from the Sacred Destiny Oracle to combine these energies and to say what these are about. I got the impression from the Garden and the Gate specifically that you were sitting in your comfort zone and feeling called to either leave it or to figure out what it was, Libra. This is about spiritual guidance and also about understanding what is abundant versus what is comfortable. It's also about challenging yourself to see beyond the limitations of your scope. So you need to open up a little bit and really connect more to energy of loving yourself enough to see that you need to also challenge yourself sometimes, right? And some of this has to do with intuition as well, especially because this card is all pink and green. And pink can also be a secondary color for the crown chakra besides purple or violet. And with the Flow card from the Sacred Destiny Oracle being here for this, the Garden and the Gate card, it's also kind of about you connecting and going with the flow of the energy of the universe and really allowing your guidance to lead you towards where you're destined to go. And this card was also a further confirmation that your guidance is here for you. It's not just saying that you need to like trust, you know, the whispers in your ear. It's really saying also that you are being led to a destination, even if you feel like you're being led in the dark, basically. And that's really what the first oracle cards out for you were. And so then I pulled some tarot cards, and the first card that I got was the Queen of Wands. So this, to me, was a representation of an individual, but this is also confirmation that your manifestations might be coming in because you've mastered that energy to a strong enough extent to feel your manifestations and to see them happening, and now you're seeing it kind of come in. But this is also a representation of you, Libra, or somebody that you're dealing with, somebody who is a strong manifester, somebody who can have or bring in abundance to themselves through almost minimal need for action. This somebody is a visionary. This somebody is connected to higher guidance, and this is somebody who is also a social leader in that area or in that realm. And the people that they serve look to them for the inspiration to also do something similar to what it is the Queen of Wands would do, which is mostly manifest and be about the actions that she takes. The next card out that we had was the Hierophant. The Hierophant is also a social leader, but this is a social leader that's more focused on helping other people unlock the keys to society, helping other people unlock the keys to open up and access certain aspects of society that would otherwise be closed off. This person is also somebody who possibly practices their own version of spirituality, maybe even something branching off of a religion as well, especially since the Hierophant is related to the Pope. This person is also developing or helping build certain people up or even parts of society up. On a astrological level, the Queen of Wands would be like Leo, a Scorpio, a Sagittarius, or an Aries. The Hierophant would be somebody who is probably a Taurus, maybe even like an Earth sign, maybe if it wasn't a Taurus. So the Earth signs being Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus, right? The card that was coming out between them for a representation of the relationship that was occurring between these two individuals was the Three of Cups. These two people were coming together to like have some kind of reunion or reconciliation that they've been kind of guided to have. With the Garden and the Gate and the Flow card here, they've both been kind of guided to have this reunion, almost to like the it's almost like they've been guided to each other even against some of their better judgment. Especially because I kind of get the interpretation that these two individuals, if they were guided toward each other, if they were around each other ever, that they have different perspectives on what spirituality is. They have different perspectives on how to gain or hold or maintain, or even what to do with abundance. They have different perspectives on a lot of things. These two individuals have different life outlooks. However, they're coming together or being guided together due to it's like a necessary, it is a necessary alignment. That's a good way to put it, right? The next cards that we had out for this energy was Judgment and the Ten of Wands. So the reason that these two individuals were brought together, I kind of got the impression that with Judgment in the beginning that this was like a soulmate or a past life. It wasn't soulmate yet. It was past life with Judgment out. It was also like them trying to come together to determine what would be good for them moving forward if they were to reconvene and actually have a sustainable relationship in some kind of way, whether it was platonic or romantic, right? This could even be family members or individuals who have known each other in the past. But we had the Ten of Wands, and that's why I was trying to figure out, like, this is when I was trying to figure out what this relationship between these two individuals was like, or why they were trying, doing this basically delegation, because I even compared them to basically having like like they were, and it was that energy of delegation, exactly, where they were kind of coming together. It was almost like they were two political leaders or something coming together for like a highly publicized meeting or something like that. It was the energy of that, where it was like, it's a big deal that these two people are coming together, even if it's just like, the energy of the two people coming together. It's a big deal, and it's almost kind of like this is fated. The reason why they were going back and forth about this delegation, though, and they were trying to remove some kind of burdens or make sure that the burdens between them weren't there, is because they're getting new perspectives on who they are. With the Hanged Man here, they were really getting new perspectives on who they were, right? So then I pulled some more cards, and I had the Empress and the Devil come out. This was telling me, with the Empress here, that this was a relationship between a feminine who is very abundant, who knows how to work with the law of attraction, who is a nurturer, and a masculine who is attached to this nurturing quality of the feminine, right? It was two people who kind of, this masculine here could be a Capricorn especially, and the feminine could have Taurus placements or possibly Leo placements, which is further confirmed from the other meanings of the cards that were signifiers, right? The masculine here was very attached to the feminine, possibly even sexually attracted to her or something like that. And the reason why I read these cards this way is because that's actually how I got these cards in the Cancer reading. I believe it was Cancer or Leo, and they did not come out in the Libra reading at all. And then we're here, and this is the Libra reading, isn't it? Okay, yeah. And they're here, even though I shuffled the deck really well. They came out together again. So then I got some more cards out, and we have the Six of Cups and the Lovers. These two individuals are past life soulmates, which is a full confirmation of the concept with these two cards coming out together in this section of the reading. These two people are past life soulmates, meaning that the ultimate goal with the Garden of the Gate is for you, Libra, to push yourself out of your comfort zone and go walk in the flow of your intuition towards a past life soulmate connection for you that would otherwise be missed if you do not leave the comfort zone that you're in, whatever that is for you. Because the energy between these two individuals, it was kind of like they might do something very similar, or they might be very compatible, but they are different. They're like, fundamentally, these two individuals would not normally meet. They would not normally come into contact, and that's why it kind of felt fated. Because the Queen of Wands, why would she, if the Queen of Wands really works with the law of attraction, and she's really about the spiritual aspects of things, especially because the Queen of Wands would be the witch card, like a card representing a traditional witch in the tarot, and the Hierophant is the Pope. So these two individuals would not meet. And so for them to have this kind of relationship where there is like a need for them to come together to obtain abundance with the Empress and the Devil here, and a faded energy with the Judgment here as well. They need to kind of take a new perspective on the intuitive guidance that they've been getting and actually allow it to happen, because the Lovers here is also another representation of that intuitive guidance leading them to be together. And I was saying that these people might have known each other in past lives, but they also might have known each other in this life, and they might have been connected in the past or known each other for a long time, and over time they have evolved into individuals who would be almost ideal partners for each other, right? So the next cards that we had from the Energy Oracle and the Sacred Destiny Oracle was Third Chakra, Archangel Chamuel, and Enlightenment. So some of this has to do with the relationship to the identity, or the relationship to personal confidence and empowerment, with the third chakra, Archangel Chamuel, coming out for that, because the third chakra is the solar plexus. And a lot of it also possibly has to do with the guidance that you get from opening your heart and actually practicing self-love based on your own interpretation of your identity, of your expression of self, and also following your intuition based on that, on who you should be and where you should go. This is a 37 reducing down to a 10, indicating the beginning of a new cycle. This card, Enlightenment, is all about connecting to the cosmos, connecting to almost like this dreamy energy of really connecting deeply to higher guidance, to the effect that you might even like be. They said it's you even learning or finding out things that you wouldn't actually know from like reading books and things like that, right? Which is very much associated with like the esoteric concept of intuition. This could even be a journey of awakening or enlightenment for some of you, and it could even be related to that, where you're opening up to your own, basically your own personality, and how you can actually be that and also defend it possibly through awakening, through your spiritual journey, and through coming to some kind of conclusion or some kind of opening in that energy. Because I did kind of say, even with the Garden and the Gate, that you could literally have to force yourself through a portal. So let's get some tarot cards out for the third chakra and enlightenment. This enlightenment, okay. This enlightenment for you, Libra, is coming out after a long period of really holding yourself back with the Four of Pentacles here, and feeling but also feeling isolated and feeling withdrawn with the Five of Cups. Feeling like, it's almost like in one energy, you didn't want to give yourself to others. You didn't feel like you had something that was of value to give to other people, or you overvalued yourself to the degree that you were not willing to express or open up when you needed to, or when it would have been necessary or even appropriate. And the Five of Cups being the energy of you feeling like you're rejected, when in reality it was you rejecting yourself for who you were or what you wanted. And the Five of Cups is a call to action for you to change your perspective on that, because there were people who wanted to know who you were, and you kind of rejected that energy. And interestingly enough, we have the Five of Swords and the Emperor coming out. The Emperor and the Empress have come out, which is a further confirmation that if this was a love reading, that there is soulmate energy here, a married couple here, people that are perfect for each other, and that can really, if they were to take on that energy of that power couple in society, they could actually change a lot of things, or they have the potential to be very influential. But that's if they are together. When we have the Five of Swords with the Emperor talking about walking away from battles, walking away from conflicts. Some of these conflicts that you experience kind of took your own personal power away from you. And if you just turned around and looked at the fact that some of the things that you're upset about were caused by you, with the Emperor kind of even confirming that you do need to take your own personal accountability as a form of personal power, you would literally see that you walked away from opportunities as well. And the Emperor, being the strategist that he is, now you're being called to understand why you've walked away from those opportunities and figure out whether or not you want to go back. And we had another card that flipped over in the deck, and that's exactly that, and it's exactly this. This is the Knight of Swords. This is the energy of you going back, and especially in the mindset, going back in the mind and trying to figure out why things that you felt rejected from, even when it was you rejecting yourself, why did they happen that way? What was the purpose? And this could even be you, especially, or this could be a masculine if you are a feminine, coming back to you and trying to save you from this relationship between the devil and the Empress, or the masculine's trying to save the Empress from the devil and the Empress. Like, this is a relationship that they are there in, but this is the energy that the Knight of Swords is in. Like, he wants to fight the devil, basically. And the devil could be literally be himself, you know, in this reading, but it could also be a representation of somebody else, like competition in that relationship, where the feminine here has multiple soulmates in play, and the masculine here in the center of the reading is different than the masculine in the beginning of the reading. So let's talk about enlightenment and the third chakra a little bit more. And this is a new cycle, so it's kind of like this might have been a representation of an old cycle that I went over in the beginning, and now we're coming into a new cycle as well, or just opening up to enlightenment. This is also kind of, they actually said it's kind of like, well, this cycle's playing out between the Empress and the devil. This is what's playing out with the Emperor, who is the true, you know, the soulmate of the Empress, being confirmed by the Two of Cups coming out for the Emperor. So it's kind of like he might have even had another relationship that he was preoccupied with, and now he's seeing that the Empress is dealing with like some other quote-unquote toxic masculine, possibly somebody who could even drain her if the relationship was toxic, which I was seeing it that way with the devil here, but that's not necessarily always the case. So let's get some more out for the third chakra. And this is also interesting because it's kind of like, now that it's like basically the Emperor here, the Emperor energy is basically saying, now that I know who I am, I'm awakened spiritually, or I'm awakened enough to where I can actually, you know, defend myself and be myself and take the power that I need to take in any situation that I'm in. I want to go back to a situation where I basically told myself I couldn't have it. So let's get some more tarot cards. Yep. And it's about and it's also about mental health. It's about like, they're saying it's about self-esteem, but the Nine of Swords is really about like, guilt. The Nine of Swords is about guilt. It's about like, and living with that dejected sense of shame of the actions that you've taken, or even the thoughts that you have. And like this might, so like this Emperor energy here in the center of the reading, if this isn't you, Libra, or somebody that you're dealing with, which probably is somebody that you know, this is someone or an individual who is kind of like, they were living with the knowledge that they have rejected themselves, and it's come into their conscious awareness, possibly even messages through dreams or something like that. And it has kind of broken their heart. We have the Three of Swords here. Yeah, so this is confirmation that it would be a third-party situation. Wow, okay. So the next oracle cards that we have a journey, which is 2, the energy of 2 being about duality and division, which is very, very appropriate for this reading, right? Somebody, you know, and the energy journey card is kind of reminiscent of the Fool card in the tarot, where somebody's really taking some steps towards action that is kind of, like I was saying with the Flow card, following intuition that was not necessarily, it's not necessarily very based in the reality that you exist in, but it's also given to you to get out of the reality that you currently exist in, which is probably something that this feminine energy is trying to do. But the journey card is also saying that there's going to be a lot of decisions. There's also a possibility of travel happening here, and that connecting to the self in that third chakra energy is going to help you expand into being able to communicate with individuals who you might not have been able to communicate with before, especially if you are driven by passion. There you go. So the Sacred Destiny Oracle card that we have out is Opportunity. And I think that this is really opening up new cycles of opportunity for yourself in places that you did not expect to actually even travel to. Opening up to the possibility of emotions that you might have hidden in the past. Opening yourself up to abundance that is shrouded in what you would consider to be darkness. It's kind of like you go through the dark night of the soul in this energy, and you start to realize that you missed out on an opportunity. The masculine, the Emperor, did. And now you have to figure out what you're going to do, and possibly even travel. Like it's almost kind of like an energy of traveling back in time to fix basically your mistakes that you're basically going to start punishing yourself for, or something that you even have been punishing yourself for with all these swords out here, with like the Five of Swords and like all, and like it's kind of like this all started because you were punishing yourself. So in this energy, for the masculines or any masculines listening that would resonate with that Emperor energy, it's like this started because you were punishing yourself, and so to punish yourself more would almost be pointless. But it's like the karma of that is you having to figure out how to retroactively change the decision that you already made. So let's get some tarot cards out for the journey and opportunity cards. Okay, so we have strength out, with this, which is a confirmation of a possible Leo in the mix, or a Leo placement. We also have the Four of Swords. So this person, this Leo person, whether you're a Leo or the people or persons that you're dealing with are Leos, could have manifested the situation, which is already kind of confirmed with the Queen of Wands being over there. This is also information basically saying that, you know, this is your journey to face your inner demons and to battle the shadow self, and also to tame it as well. The lion being a representation of the shadow self, and the woman being kind of like the energy of somebody who could see beyond that. You know, this even might have been like the result or product of either spiritual journey, or possibly even like dealing or confronting mental health in some kind of way. With the Four of Swords even being like a recognition of give and take relationships, or even praying, dreaming, or hoping that a situation will come into the fold in the future. Gonna have some more cards out for journey and opportunity. Okay, and so a new beginning is going to be offered in this situation due to the manifestations, the prayers, the meditation, and anything else, the visualizations even of this situation coming into fruition. A new beginning, possibly a passionate new beginning, where it will start off kind of slowly or kind of passionately and build into something where dreams will be created and possibly even dreams being fulfilled. The next card out that we have is the Seven of Cups. So this is also about making good decisions in the emotional realm, possibly even making better decisions when it comes to the emotional relationships that you uphold, or even being deeper connected to intuition and really utilizing the guidance that you have to kind of navigate in a cloudy or dark situation where there's a lot of confusion and there are a lot of options to be taken, but ultimately only one or very few of the options, and when there are multiple, would actually be good for you in the Seven of Cups energy. And some of them would actually be toxic or detrimental, but they all look good when you cannot actually see what the difference is on the outside. Let's get some more tarot cards out for the journey and opportunity section. Okay, we have the Seven of Pentacles and we have the Nine of Cups. And this is all okay. And so there's somebody in this energy that's also waiting. This is kind of Virgo energy with the Seven of Pentacles, and the Nine of Cups would be kind of like Pisces energy or Scorpio, more Scorpio. But yeah, and Judgment would also be like Aries, possibly. Devil would be Capricorn, just to go through some of them. There's also heavy Leo, heavy Taurus as well, with both the Emperor and the Empress being out. There's also Gemini, but that's a lot of signs. So this is really just kind of an open reading for the Libra collective, right? But there is somebody here waiting for the abundance of the situation to come back for them. Something that they put energy into returning to them. And with this being with the journey and the opportunity, it's kind of like they're almost waiting for an opportunity that they've been trying to manifest. So this could be the feminine or the Queen of Wands individual who's been kind of trying to make this come to be, right? The Nine of Cups being also saying that this person was manifesting through the energy of self-love, or through, yeah, self-love, possibly even some form of narcissism, but, you know, that's not necessarily true for everyone, right? Anything else? Okay, yeah, we have the Five of Pentacles, and we also have the Two of Pentacles. So this was like, some of this might even be related to like some kind of situation where there was rejection, or there was like deductive reasoning that this situation was not going to work out. Like one of these situations between the feminine and one of the masculines being described here, where the situation wasn't going to work out, that ultimately led to a rejection in the past. And this feminine here has kind of like manifested this back into action, manifested it back into being. Possibly even relating to or relating these relationships to some form of stability, or wishing to have stability in relationships, which ultimately led to these two earth sign individuals with the Hierophant and the Emperor being here, kind of both appearing for the feminine, right? These are two different masculines in this reading, both appearing for the feminine, because both of them are earth signs. The Emperor is like Taurus, Leo, and the Devil Hierophant is like Capricorn, Taurus. But neither of them, you know, they could be any earth sign, they could be any sign. I don't think that really matters. But it's almost kind of like the feminine has kind of developed, or a need to manifest that kind of stability with the two of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles being the indication of that stability that's trying to be manifested, ultimately adding back up to the Seven. She's waiting for something to come back for her. And now she might even be presented with the choice. So if this is you, Libra, you will be presented with the choice, because it seems kind of like there are multiple masculines coming into the fold for you, or you've been with one and now another one's coming back. And if if you are a masculine Libra and you're listening to this reading, then this could actually be reversed roles, where you are one of the masculines, or you could be represented as the feminine energy here, manifesting newness into your life through your relationship with feminines, or, you know, whatever. This could apply multiple ways. It doesn't have to be this, you know, 2 men and 1 woman or something like that, right? And so now we have Healer of the Ages, which is a 51 reducing to a 6, being about an individual who has ascended enough to have divine love for others and themselves. This is also talking about unconditional love being the healing force behind the actions or the journey that's being presented here. This is also kind of an indication that there is an internal fire in one of these individuals that is more able to resurrect a situation than they perceived it to be. So Libra, if you are one of the masculines, I do kind of see, like, if you're Libra, especially if you're the Emperor, I do kind of see you bringing the situation back into your own favor once you enter the situation. But it's kind of an uphill battle, because in this energy we have, like, the Emperor is fighting the devil basically with the Knight of Swords, right? Because the Knight of Swords is another representation of the individual being represented by the devil. And the devil is a representation of the Hierophant. So this is almost like, you know, somebody who is more, and because this individual was with the Empress in the beginning of the reading, right? And that's what I described here. And I do get the impression, Libra, that you might be the feminine, because the Empress could be a Libra energy, now that I think about it. And so these two individuals, you know, it's like this person is more of an energetic match to the Empress energy. Well, this person is the one who has the Empress energy in its midst. And this card is basically about resurrection and about that divine love being being an energetic influence on situations, leading to healing of individuals involved. This card is almost like the star card in the tarot energetically, where an individual is being pushed into a situation or presented into a situation to change the way that that everyone else involved is going about their journey. So this is kind of more like in line with that Emperor energy, where this Emperor is being the one who's kind of interjecting with the Knight of Swords energy that he has with them. Even if his heart is broken, it's kind of like all he has to do is get over that, right? So that's really all it's saying. And so hopefully this gave you some kind of insight, at least, because this wasn't really about like your personal journey, although I did bring up some topics that might be affecting your own personal spiritual journey as well. So if this reading resonated for you at all, I would love to hear about it in the comments. Leave a like if you liked the reading, subscribe if you got to this point in the reading at all, and also leave a star emoji if you got to this point in the reading, because I would love to hear about it. Anyway, Libra, that's all I have for you. Goodbye.